Welcome back to the FM LLaMa and Sporting Club Toulon, where the season is going well, form is good and life is great. But today we've got an away fixture against Rouen, and it is a long road to Rouen, so we best go and book the team bus. So before we board that team bus to Rouen, let's just check in on Shrewsbury, because last time we checked things were not going well. And, well, it looks like things have not improved a whole lot. So they have, sunk to 5 defeats on the bounce, picked up a draw against Jagiellonia, and then another defeat to Rakov. Where does that leave them? Flat bottom of the league with just a point from 7 games. Our reason for checking in on Shrewsbury is because they have appointed a new manager, and there are some odd goings on at Shrewsbury. So their new manager is Peter Mandris, who is, as chance would have it, the father of Robert Mandris, the midfielder with the long throw from last season. But what's this, I hear you cry? The new manager has come in and accepted an offer to sell his own son. No. The new manager has come in and released his own son from the team. Inverse nepotism, if you will, and Mandris has now picked up a new club in the Czech Republic. So, well, we can't say that Peter Mandris can't make the big calls. He has released his own son from the team, but at the moment things are not going well for Shrewsbury. They are going a little better, however, for our new club Toulon. So in our first game with the team, we won 1-0 at Annecy. Despite having a Montsegur sent off very early, we saw Husek rise like an absolute triumphant squirrel and head home the winner. We backed that up with a 3-1 victory over Martigues. The Moose got his first goal for the club. Husek got a second, and Eli Wahi got his first goal as well. We then beat Tours 2-0. Husek, top scorer, 3 in 3 games, and Alexander Arenat with a long-range goal as well. And then another victory, 1-0, despite a sending off. Morgan Gilavogu scored the winner for us. So everything was looking pretty good. 4 wins from 4 games. The only slight blot, a 0-0 draw with Paris, in which we performed pretty bad. But all of that brings us to today's game against Rouen. So let's have a look at the team that we have selected then. We have a long-term injury to old Reggie Perrin here. He's not going to be with us for, best part of another month. So new player in the back for Mohamed Sarnoun. He is one of the most influential players at the club, and he's not taken kindly to my arrival. But with very little wage budget and very little on the bench to bring in, he gets the nod for today. Hopefully Husek can support him in the centre-back roles. We've brought Montsegur back in. He served a suspension, but our other left-back is not that good. So we're going to go with Montsegur today. We're going to make a couple of little changes, though, back into the midfield. We had some suspensions for our last game, but we can bring Moyambo back in, and we can bring Karl Madianga back in as the playmaker in place of Koumé and Moulet. And so with the addition of Eli Wahi onto the bench for Diallo, that pretty much gives us our strongest team for today's game. Hopefully we can return to winning ways and, potentially rise from the 3rd place that we currently occupy in the French National. So let's get straight into the team talk. Let's give the boys a bit of passion today, I think. Let's see what we can do to keep the run of form going. And we have kicked off. So we've been pretty good in the 5 games so far. The last fixture aside, against Paris in that last game, we were pretty blunt in attack. The only thing we are a little bit concerned about is the form of Petar Musa. 5 games in his Toulon career. He's scored a goal. Granted, he has got a couple of assists, but 1 in 5 is not really what we bought him in for on £1,000 a week. So, well, we're hoping that he can settle and find a little bit of form soon. I'm sure as soon as he learns the language and settles in a little bit better at the club, things will get a little easier for him. But otherwise, form has been pretty good so far. Trying to play a little bit of football now as well. Our new formation seems to be bedding in quite nicely. Those 2 defensive midfielders. That is another trademark long-range effort from Alexander Aranat. So he's our box-to-box midfielder, and he seems to be doing particularly well in that position. What's that? A good 25-yard effort. Oh, absolutely superb. But that is not ideal, is it? An injury to Morgan Gilavogu. Okay, not to panic. We can play Awahi. He is an absolute great player. Wants to be a striker, really. We're retraining him to play that inside forward role. We'll swap him and Mendes over. And we have possession again. So here is Mendes over on the other side. He's not quite quick enough to get there, though, is he? And we're going to have to do a little bit of defending. There's Aranat just stepping nonchalantly over the ball. No need to tackle. A teammate will sort that out for you. Here's the Moose then. So he is the guy we're looking to find a bit of form. Maybe he's not the right man to play that lone striker role. Maybe a target man is not the right role when you're playing a lone striker. That has to be worked out over the next few fixtures. But look at us stroking the ball around. We've got some Polish weather as the rain howls down. But the Moose gets involved in the build-up, doesn't he? Knocking it off. Here he is. Come on, Moose. Oh, who were we to ever doubt him? Peter Musa. We take it all back. There's his 2nd goal of the season. He was just toying with our emotions. Of course, you can back the Moose when he's on the loose, around anybody's hoose, to get on the end of things. Look at it. Calmly just lifts it past the keeper. Oh, well, that is a relief. So 2-0 up, form looking exceptional. Look at those possession stats. Don't normally see a Makoko team dominating possession, but this new formation and this new style of play does get those midfielders on the ball, dictating the tempo of the game. So there's Echeverria there. The Moose is, God, he's just coming deep and just like a colossus. Strides back forward. There's Aranat. There's our overlapping fullback. So Monsecure's got a little bit of making up to do for us. Oh, he's done it. All is forgiven for that red card in the first game. He has lofted one into the box, and God, there he is. The Moose on the loose once more. So all he needed was a little bit of criticism before the game. And the Moose is now looking at, rather than 1 in 5, 3 in 6, an altogether better ratio. God, life is looking good at Sporting Club Toulon. The Moose is starting to settle in. And we're on the attack once more. As our other right fullback getting up. The Moose again. God, he's searching for a first half hat-trick. He's looking majestic. Reborn in that lone striker role. So maybe you can play a target man as the lone striker. Oh, that was a close shave, though. We don't have Schromnik in goal anymore. We're relying on Gilekens. We haven't got the audacity to be trying to play out from the back now, but we can still hoof it long. There's the Moose. Oh, he's gone past one. He has, well, let's not say thumped. It looks like the goalie has let that one brush past him. Peter Musa, first half hat-trick. How dare you doubt him? He always had the full support of his manager, never doubted him even when he went that few games without a goal. Brings it down, rides a challenge, and that goalie has just fumbled it into his own net. No matter, look at that, 4-0. What a start to our Toulon career this is. Very pleased that we've been able to change tactics, and Aranat has thumped home another one. Change tactics and so effortlessly being able to bed in this new tactic. Things are looking absolutely superb in the early part of the season for Toulon. Look at that little strike. Bends it into the top corner of the goal. God, everybody's on pretty good form today. Let's see what Aranat's got down the left. He's given it straight away to Diop. There's Montsecoeur. He hoofs it clear. We can't win any ball here, though. And they're in. And they've thumped one against the post. And Sarnoon clears it for a corner. That was a little bit of a close shave. At 5-0, maybe the boys were a little bit complacent. Here's Moyumbu. Deep line midfielder. We have to leave him up from the corners because he's only 5'6". Bless his little socks. Gives us a bit of ball now, though. The highlight continues. There's Madianga, the playmaker. There's Aranat already on 2 goals. Play it forward, and that highlight peters out into nothing. God, we're squeezing in another one before the break. And Wahi has made it 6-0 in the first half. Maybe it's not a long road to Rouen after all. I don't think I've ever been 6-0 up at half-time before. Perhaps Quevilly or Rouen are one of the weaker teams in the league. We might have to check that out in the post-game analysis. So what are we going to say to the boys who are 6-0 up after a rampant first half? I think maybe the passion keeps going, and very good, boys. Might need to rest a few players in the second half, though, at 6-0. We have a frightfully small squad, particularly in the striking positions, where it's literally Musa and Wahi or nothing. Okay, so let's make our changes. We've done one already with the early injury to Zilovogu. We've got Michael Ziba, who is a Polish fullback that we picked up before the transfer window closed. And if we take off the Moose, who's already on his hat-trick, we could play Wahi up front and just give the Moose the appreciation from the travelling fans, of which there are 57, as well as a little bit of a breather before our next fixture. Doesn't look like the boys are going to exert themselves in the second half. They did all the hard work in that first half. And I think they're going to let the game fold without a highlight in that second half. But what a first half performance that was by the boys. We'll give them their third bit of passion. They'll say, wow, very pleased with the result and the performance. Wow, that's very good. Look at the table then. We're looking at second place, although the third place team do have a game in hand, as do a couple of others behind them. Looks like Le Herbier are a force to be reckoned with. But, wow, Quevilly Rouen are not too bad. They're 10th in the table. Let's just see where they were predicted. They are one of the teams that are predicted to finish quite highly in the league. I think the signing of the Moose has nudged Toulon's expectations amongst the press up a little bit as well. But things are looking pretty good in the French National. So sitting second, the Moose has now come back to form. The injury to Zilovogu is, well, let's have a look at how long that's going to be. 4 weeks. That is a blow. We're going to have to find a replacement for him. But wow, form is looking good. Unbeaten start to the season. Keeping some clean sheets. Starting to put some attacking play back together. Looks like we've got some tougher games coming up though. Bastia is a team who we know are pretty good. Concarneau are a team we know have just been relegated from the league above. So they'll be tricky opposition. And Le Herbier are currently top of the league. So maybe that is the game we might just return to and see whether Sporting Club Toulon can keep up their strong start to the season. Thanks for all the watchers. Be great if you could like a subscription. Makes me happier than a boy dancing on sunshine. We will see you next time for some more border adventures.